Good morning. Welcome to the very rainy Pacific Northwest. We have been under an atmospheric river for about the last week, or it sure seems like it. My name is Karina, and I am walking out to the barn to feed the horses. It is Friday, December 8th, Vlogmas Day 8. It is about 6:45 a.m. Still quite dark. You can see the neighbor's house. I'm off today, which is why I'm getting such a much later start. It's been quite a lot of time knitting this morning as I get up at the same time during the week, and we get up pretty early on weekends too. Interestingly, I don't really see any barn lights. I'm not sure why that is. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's just dark and rainy. So here's the creek. It has come up quite a bit. That's the down slope side. And it is still behaving quite nicely, being in its banks. There's the house and the Christmas tree. And there's the barn. With some of the lights on, some not. For some reason, the lights don't always work when it's raining like this out. I suppose there's some dampness that kind of factors into that. The horses are undoubtedly standing outside in the rain rather than being in their stalls where they wouldn't get rained on, but you know, they have those choices, and they do what feels right to them. So I'm looking for some. Oh, there they are. So they're kind of over. Oh, look at all that. That's my breath. It is chilly out. So they are over kind of under the trees over there. So it's somewhat taking shelter, although undoubtedly they will be quite wet. So I will give them more hay. Looks like they still have plenty of hay in their stalls, so I guess they're not suffering too much. I'm going to get to morning chores. Greetings, everyone, for the knitting portion of my podcast. As you probably know from the previous segment of when I was walking out to the barn, my name is Karina and I live in the Pacific Northwest. It is December 8th, day 8 of Vlogmas. Welcome. Glad to be here again, and I hope you are enjoying kind of my daily snippets of life. Today is a big day because I am getting a haircut. Why is this big news? I haven't had a haircut since June, and I wear it in a braid so often. I mean, it's not super long, but it's curly, and it tends to kind of grow. It doesn't really grow down. It kind of grows out, I suppose. If you have curly hair, you know what I mean. And it tends to get kind of fuzzy on the end. So I usually don't go this long without getting a haircut. But as I said, since I've been wearing it in a braid so often this year, I just really have not noticed. I think it has stopped raining, at least for the moment. I hope this is what is going to happen for most of the day, because I would like to get out for a walk. I would like the mud out in the pasture to have a chance to dry out a little. I would like the gravel paddocks to not have any standing water, the driveway to not have any standing water on it. Just a little break would be nice. The horses are doing fine. To them, it's just weather. I don't think they particularly have opinions about weather, if I can say that. I just make sure that they have options, just in terms of like where they can find shelter if they want it. Most horses, it seems like, to stand out in the rain if that is their choice. I don't blanket my horses. Here in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of people do. And if people clip their horses for the winter, it's probably, well, you kind of have to. You have to give them some protection. I don't clip my horses. I let them go. I let them get hairy. In the Pacific Northwest, the temperature fluctuations are such that it gets quite warm, and I think it is worse for a horse to be too warm than to be too cold. They are well adapted to cold weather, and if you provide them with enough forage in the form of hay or maybe soaked beet pellets or soaked Timothy pellets or something like that, where they have adequate nutrition, I really don't think weather bothers them. I did find out why my horses happened to be standing under the fir trees. Several days ago, or quite a while ago, I set out a hanging treat ball for them and suspended it from one of the big fir tree branches. Well, apparently they hadn't really found it until last night, and I think they probably spent a lot of time chewing on that. And the idea is, this is one of Jimmy's, the brand is Jimmy's hanging balls, and it's supposed to amuse them. It's a boredom buster, and I like to give them to them just for some sort of, mental stimulation, particularly in the winter, or if I don't have a chance to do a lot with them. What they have learned is to cooperate. So if it's suspended, I mean, ideally it just takes them a long time to kind of grab at it. It swings, they grab at it, and it swings, and it's a very hard ball that's made out of, I don't know, it almost looks like compressed bird seed without like sunflower seed shells. But anyway, good stuff for horses. But what they have learned to do is that they work together and they pin it between their muzzles. So a treat ball generally lasts a day or two, and it looks like they finished it off last night. So, well, good for them. I'm drinking this lovely green tea that came in my Scrappy Advent package from a few days ago. It is really quite nice. So, onto the knitting. I keep talking about horses, and this is also a knitting podcast. What am I wearing? I have spent the better part of a while trying to find this pattern. I think it's a Norah, I don't know how to say her last name. It looks like a French last name, Gaughan. Cabled sweater. This is a great example of repurposed yarn. I had originally used this yarn to make a different sweater that I ended up not liking. And so I frogged it and wound the yarn back up. I made this basically all over cabled sweater, except the sleeves are just sleeves. So it looks the same from top to bottom. I don't remember if this was top down or bottom up. It was probably top down. It's cabled. So it was really fun to knit. I think I knit this, I want to say, in 2017-ish. I wear it a lot in the winter. I believe this is a worsted weight yarn, probably Cascade 220. Is that a worsted weight? It's the Cascade brand in any event. Like I said, I was not able to find the pattern on Ravelry, so I can't remember if I got it out of one of her publications or where it came from, so sorry. What else have I been working on? So I've been doing my Advent knitting, and I have made some progress on the K. Jones knit along. It's a sock knit along, and the theme is the Nutcracker. So here is what I have done. So I'm caught up on both socks, and I decided to do opposite colors. So this is the first sock I've done. So this, no, is that right? Nope, this one is. So the cuffs are the same. This is, the blue is color 2, and the yellow gold is supposed to be color 3. In this sock, I reversed it. So I think this is going to be really fun. Fun segments. She releases her pattern updates every other day, so that's why I had a chance to catch up on this. So yeah, I think these are going to be really fun, and I'm on track for them to be done for for Christmas. Jadawoo red lace needles, size 0. I knit left-handed, so my gauge is a little bit bigger. And the yarns, the red is a hand-painted yarn from Montana. This is a hand-dyed yarn, Jadawoo Designs, and the gold is a recent acquisition. There it is. I don't remember who is the dyer, and I cannot find the label at the moment. So hopefully I put that in my show notes, what it is. I tried to do that. Or maybe I just put the Yarn Advent in my show notes. I don't recall. I am making small progress on the Arne Carlos stocking knit along. I did not bring it because I think I only knit a couple more rows since the last time you saw it. So I am going to show you another knit along, or it's not a knit along. It's not even really an advent. It's a, this is a scarf. So it's basically a long tube, and I finished the first colorwork section. So it has a seamless cast on, which was pretty fun. If you follow the directions, I tried to do the same thing with the Arne Carlos stocking and thought I had it memorized. Well, and then I looked at it and apparently I had twisted a couple stitches because it's not invisible. Oh well. So this first colorwork section, can you see the reindeer? Isn't that fun? So at first I wasn't sure if this lavender was going to show up enough, and it kind of doesn't, but I don't care. But the contrast color is a self-striping yarn from Freckled Whimsey, and then the little nose is just a little accent piece, scrap yarn. So super fun. I am using the Freckled Whimsey as the main color for the next motif. So I'm just kind of doing I don't know, what do you call that? Kind of a fade? I'm not sure. But this is, colorway is Dumbledore's Army from Freckled Whimsey's Harry Potter Yarn of the Month Club collection that I sadly am no longer a member of, but I just don't knit that many socks. And I have quite a stash. This neutral color is from Polka Dot Creek. It was part of the Yarn Advent that I have mentioned before. And I am using, I think these are size 4. They're either 3 or 4. Jadawoo red lace. Let me see if I can find the package. I'm knitting a lot of things, but I probably used the recommended needle size, I think. Although the recommended yarn for this scarf is a DK or a sport weight, and I wanted to make it out of fingering because it is held double, and because it is double thickness and it is color work. So there's quite a bit of fabric there. Usually I have the yarn, the needle case in the bag, and this is, oh, here it is. These are size 3. Okay, I'm using size 3 and size 4 for a lot of projects right now, so I'm kind of getting them mixed up. But this, I think the total number of rounds that this scarf has is like 720. So I'm going to knit as many motifs as possible. So that will be fun to share with you as I go along. This is just a cloth bag from Stitch Fix. You probably have heard of this. This clothing subscription service that I did for a little while ago. For a little while. I don't remember how many years ago it was. It's been quite a while because I remember my supervisor at the time had retired, and she retired in 2016. So that was kind of fun, good fun for office clothes and stuff like that. I work from home now, so I typically wear jeans and then an appropriate top. Like what I'm wearing right now would be appropriate. Underneath I have a t-shirt. It's the Crazy Sock Lady Summer Sock Camp t-shirt, which I participated in. I did not knit nearly as many socks as other knitters did. But, you know, that's not the point. This is probably one of the few things that I've actually kind of joined. I mean, I love knit-alongs, so those are fun. Mostly I like them for, if there's particular patterns that I like I love Kay Jones patterns. I really like Sophia Capella's from Sophia's Tales patterns, for socks in particular. I really like Tellybeans Shawl patterns and her knit-alongs, and you know, Arne and Carlos, they're so fun. And I love their color work designs. So I have quite a few of those too. And then the Pacific Co designs, which are those motifs, and they tend to be very local because she's a Seattle designer. So I do have, I think in my project stash, probably her Seattle themed cowl. I love to knit cowls too. I am making progress on my Riverside sweater, but I'm still in the band of like 9 rounds of just stockinette round and round and round. So I have 6 projects on the needle, so I will just show the ones that I am making some substantial progress on, so it's somewhat interesting. So I'm not showing you just line by line. And as I mentioned yesterday, I am going to frog the Stephen West October MKAL, just because I found some pretty major errors in it and I wasn't having fun with it anyway. So not really sure what I'm going to do. I checked in with Knit All the Yarn podcaster Lisa, because she does a lot of Stephen West shawls, and asked her if she had done the Aurora Cabin hybrid knit along last year, and she had liked the pattern, although she said that by the time you were done, it was 1,000 stitches bind off, which, wow. I mean, that would take at least a couple days, I would think. At least me. Okay. It is Friday, so it is week 2 of Advent. So I have the Legacy Fiber Arts Christmas Advent. I don't remember which one I got. I got full skeins. Here was the first one that I got. This is so pretty. So Twinkle's Tea House. Love this. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. I don't know that I'm going to knit socks. I think I'm kind of done with fingering weight socks. I am kind of interested in DK weight socks, especially now that it's winter. Ooh, but this is pretty. So this is Gingerbread Inn. Very pretty. So what I am kind of thinking, these make really nice color work. Contrast colors, especially if you use a solid color as a contrast. So I love to do color work. So these are, they are kind of similar color family. Let's see if I turn around this way. Whoops, I'm covering up the lavender. Or even like this. Ooh, look at that. I think that's, get my face out of here. So, I could certainly do another fade, do another doodle scarf or something, and do a fade. I would love to do a doodle poncho. I mean, I really like ponchos. I love shawls, but they tend to fall off, and I don't like shawl pins. I like ponchos because they stay put. What I could do, what I did with a poncho one time is I just knit this giant rectangle and folded in half and stitched it together. I can do that. You guys give me such great ideas. Thank you for that. Okay, so that is it for the Advent and the Advent knitting. I am going to hold off on the Scrappy Advent because there's only like 5 left. So I think I'm going to try to stretch that out a little longer. I'm getting some ideas from some of the ones that I have opened up recently, like No, not that one so much, but like this one. This would just be fun. Like if I'm knitting a sweater, maybe, you know, it could go in as a color work section or just as an interesting section, like a stripe, part of a stripe. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So that's what I'm going to do with that. I know one of my viewers, new viewers, welcome, by the way. Glad you're here. One of my new viewers asked about what to do with those really small scraps. So I tend to use them in color work. Some people do scrappy socks or other scrappy projects. I haven't really got into that too much, I guess. And there's a lot of MKALs that do scrappy stuff. So that's what I recommend doing. And I think in my comment, hopefully, dear viewer, I recommended a couple designers who do scrappy work. So hopefully you found some resources. And if you did, please let me know in the comments. And if anyone else has comments about suggestions for scrappy projects, please let me know. So, you know, I keep looking at this that has my Advent, the Scrappy Advent in it, but I'm gonna resist. I'm gonna resist. Okay, that's all I have today. If I do take Odin out for a walk this afternoon, I will try to take some footage and probably include it in tomorrow's vlog. Happy knitting, happy Advent, happy Vlogmas, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new haircut.